Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm bringing you an update on this story out of New York about this beautiful judge that was found dead floating in the Hudson River. Now the problem with this situation is all of her friends and everyone that knows her is saying that there's no possible way that she would commit suicide. There was no reason even looking into it and investigating her situation. There is no reason and no signs that points to suicide. Another issue is the way she supposedly committed suicide, jumping into a river, like that just doesn't make any sense. And so I really don't know a whole bunch about this story, but I think it's really important for us to look at these situations and just look at the different ways that it's portrayed in the news, and the fact that, you know, when stuff like this happens, I don't know, I just got knocked out, but when stuff like this happens, you get to see how the media looks into it and how they're portrayed, and the fact that she's Muslim, and there's a lot of signs of inconsistency, and yeah, this story just doesn't make any sense. So it says New York. I feel like I'm missing a part of it, but I guess it starts off right there. Questions persist in death of prominent New York judge. Okay, so let's go down here. When Shelley Abdus-Salim agreed to speak this month at an alumni gathering at Columbia Law School, it was business as usual for someone in demand as the first Black woman to serve on New York's highest court. Yeah, I'm pretty sure white supremacy had a huge problem with that. And they never look into it as terrorism, as, you know, they never want to look into white supremacy when these situations happen. And again, we all know that Donald Trump took the KKK and these skinheads and white supremacists off the list of terrorist groups, so they're not even looked at as terrorists. But I would definitely go that route and look into that. But only 6 days before the event, at her alumni matter, Abdus-Salam's success story took a startling turn. Her body was found floating in the Hudson River, leaving those who know her trying to reconcile in seemingly stable life with a mysterious death that's still under investigation. The New York Police Department said this week that it still found no signs of foul play, suggesting she might have killed herself after wandering the streets of Harlem for 4 hours. See, it just doesn't make sense, but her family and admirers insist that does not add up. So I guess there's a video. I'm going to play it. Oh, okay. It's not letting me play it because I have ad blocker on, and I'm not going to undo that. So Sheila was one of the most rational, measured, and intellectual folks that I've ever known, said Keith Wright, a former state assemblyman, a longtime friend and neighbor who exchanged pleasantries with her.
The first African-American woman to serve on the New York Court of Appeals was found dead in the Hudson River. According to local media, police discovered 65-year-old Justice Sheila Abdus-Salam unconscious and unresponsive in the water Wednesday. She was pronounced dead by paramedics soon after. Police say she was fully clothed when they found her, and there were no signs of trauma on her body. It's unclear how she ended up in the river or how long she had been there, but she had been reported missing from her home in Harlem earlier in the day. Abdus-Salam was appointed to the Court of Appeals in 2013 by Governor Andrew Cuomo. She was also the first Muslim woman to become a judge in the U.S. The cause of Abdus-Salam's death is under investigation.
And that's what they love to say. Oh, it's under investigation. Oh, we're looking into it. You know, oh, don't worry, we're looking into it. They're not looking into it. They're not investigating this. They couldn't care less. Anyways. So her friend Keith Wright says, I don't believe she would kill herself. In a statement, I cannot say her name, Abdus Salam's family has disputed reports that she is battling depression and that according to police, her death fell around the anniversary of the suicide of both her mother and her brother. Police later admit that they were wrong about the mother's cause of death. More questions followed after the NYPD tweeted a photo of a flyer last week asking for information from anyone who may have come in contact with Abdus Salam. And after police officials called the death suspicious, both police have stressed that only meant that they hadn't reached a conclusion, about the death. So it looks like they want to tell the truth and they want to say it's suspicious and they want but they that somehow they're not being allowed to. This is very suspicious. I'm telling you, this is very suspicious. And then the fact that they're saying, oh, her mother committed suicide, and then they recanted that and said, oh, wait, we were wrong about her death. So they're throwing a lot of mixed messages and having you look a lot of different ways. They're trying to distract you away from what's really going on. So this is very interesting. The news coverage has frequently included understating comments concerning my wife's possible mental and emotional state of mind at the time of the death, said the Reverend Canon Gregory Jacobs. Her third husband, I cannot say this, Episcopal pastor who shared a home with her in New Jersey. Those of us who loved Sheila and knew her well do not believe that this unfounded conclusion have any basis in reality. The 65-year-old Abdus Salam was raised with 6 siblings in a working-class family in Washington. She graduated from Burns College before attending Columbia Law School, where she was on a committee organized the 40th class reunion in June. After she rose from a lawyer for low-income Berkeley residents to state court justice, Democratic Governor Andrew Cuomo appointed her to the State Court of Appeals in 2013. She once said that she wanted people to consider me to be a judge who listens and gives them a fair shot. Her death brought, an outpouring of accolades. Cuomo called her as trailblazing jurors who life in public services was a pursuit of a more fair and more just New York for all, said Democratic Mayor Bill de Blasio. Someone who gets so far and was lost so soon. Unable to locate any witnesses, police so far have relied on security videos to try to retrace the last hours of Abdus Salam's life. She spent her work week in the city in an apartment on West 113th Street in Harlem. After staying home from work on April 11th, she was seen on video leaving her home around 8:30 p.m. and walking several blocks north, then eventually west on West 145th Street and an elevated park on the Hudson River, where a final video showed her alone there about 12:30 a.m. and April 12th. According to two law enforcement officers. Her body was found in the water about 13 hours later without obvious signs of trauma. She was in the same clothes, sweatshirt, sweatpants, and white sneakers seen in the videos. A law enforcement officer spoke to the Associated Press in condition of anonymity because the investigation hasn't been completed. Results of an autopsy is pending. I don't get this, Wright said of the death. I don't understand it. Hopefully we'll have something soon. Okay, so here's why is it being thrown out that she committed suicide? So strongly, they're saying she committed suicide, there's no proof of struggle, there's no proof of any wrongdoing on any other part, there's no proof of any, there is no proof of how she died, and yet they're saying that she committed suicide. But they're telling you down here that as of today, because this is an update on her death, we see that it was from today, and they're telling you that she committed suicide. She's had there's proof that she was depressed, and then they're saying that there's a history of suicide, that her mother committed suicide, but then they're saying, oh wait, we are wrong, her mother did not commit suicide. And then at the end of it, they're telling you that the autopsy hasn't come out yet. They don't have proof of how she died. This could be homicide. So why are we being forced to believe that she committed suicide? Why does whoever's doing this, whatever government agency is in charge of investigating this, and I'm thinking it has to be, the New York Police Department, or even maybe the FBI. I don't know who's actually doing this investigation. I'm just assuming that it is the New York Police Department. Why are they putting out statements that she committed suicide if they don't have an autopsy report? Because wouldn't you just wait and say, we're not going to make any, because that's a pretty bold statement to say. And if it's not true, it's pretty inflammatory. It's really dragging her name in the mud to say that she committed suicide when you have absolutely no proof of that. Like, that is wrong. You don't have any proof that she committed suicide. You have no idea how she actually died because you don't have an autopsy report. So why is her name being dragged through the mud like this? We really need to think about this and ask ourselves, why are they dragging her name through the mud? Why are they saying she committed suicide when there is no proof of that? Why are they saying she committed suicide when they don't have an autopsy report? It would make way more sense, instead of jumping to a conclusion that a honored judge that worked really hard to get to where she is. She is the first Black judge appointed to this, to this court, and now they're just saying, oh, well, right before she's supposed to give a speech. She looks very happy in these videos that were shown. I didn't see any. She has no history of suicidal ideation, of suicidal thoughts, of wanting to commit suicide. Her husband isn't saying that, oh yeah, she was, super depressed, she really wanted to die. No one is saying this. There's no proof. There's no video of her jumping into this river. There's just no proof of this, and yet this is what we're being told to believe. It would make a lot more sense for them to wait and get an autopsy report and say, okay, yeah, it looks like she committed suicide. It looks like there's no foul play. But they don't have this proof. So I'm just wondering, and I think we should all be kind of asking ourselves, why do they want us to believe that she committed suicide? What are they hiding? Okay, because something's been hidden. There's something that we are not meant to see. Because this does not look like a lady that wants to commit suicide. There doesn't seem to be any reason for her to commit suicide. None of her family members are coming out and saying, yes, I think she was suicidal, that she was very sad. She is a 65-year-old Black woman that has worked very hard to get where she is at. Why would she not want to retire and enjoy the rest of her life? There's no reason for her to want to commit suicide. There is reason for white supremacist terrorists to want to kill her, with her being Black, with her being Muslim, and with her being in a high position. So that makes more sense to me. I would think that they would try to look into that angle, but you know, she's Black, so they don't care. And then we already know that Muslims are under attack in this country, so that there's two reasons why white supremacy will want to see her dead. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about this story. I will definitely continue to follow this and see what the autopsy says, because something is not adding up in this story. It really isn't. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about this story. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.